Hello and welcome to another update video on Ethereum. So since the November dip, the 4th of November dip, small crash, to $3,055, not much has happened because we had a bounce from that low there, a bounce, and then we've come down to test that level again. We're basically now trading around the November lows again. Ethereum is holding a little bit better, at least in the short term, than Bitcoin at the moment. So maybe over the next few days, we can also take a look at ETH BTC again. But overall, there is no evidence that a meaningful low has formed at the moment, even though I recognize we might see a relief bounce at some point. It could even widen this B wave, right? But overall, I mean, it's quite simple. You see that the chart is currently following a descending price channel. So in the short term, I'm looking for lower, with the potential, of course, for a bounce from this micro support area in the very short term. Not needed, however. Because, as I said, over the last few weeks, until we break above 3,611, which was our first resistance area, there is really absolutely no evidence for a meaningful low. Therefore, we were still considering lower prices here. And I mean, we obviously have to give the market a little bit of room to move, right? That is what the resistance areas are for. So as long as resistance is holding, really, we continue to focus on the trend direction, which is short-term down, especially since the 10th of October low, because after the 10th of October low, there was really nothing that told us that a meaningful low could have formed. This was just consolidation, but three-wave structures in both directions, which is why I'm tracking this decline in circle wave C as a possible ending diagonal pattern. And ending diagonal patterns are structures that indicate, well, kind of indecision. Not so much indecision, that would rather be a triangle, but there is, let's say it like that, there's no clear winner, right? I mean, yeah, the bears are still leading, but it's not like in an impulse where there's one very clear winner. It's more like, okay, at the moment it's the bears, but that could change tomorrow. It really is like that. So this entire cycle has been like this, because we have seen not enough impulses. I mean, Bitcoin is really one of the charts, together with maybe Solana, that's been moving mainly in impulses in this cycle. Not always on the smallest time frames, but on the larger scale since the 2022 low. So we have to recognize that. Shout out to Bitcoin here. But yeah, overall, we're still, the price is still, the structure is still under pressure here. Yeah. Now, it is important to recognize that there's also a trend channel, and that this is, whether you follow Elliott Wave structures or not, we are dealing here with a downtrend, a local downtrend. And we're printing lower lows and lower highs, and there's literally nothing at the moment that would tell us that a meaningful low has formed. Now, I am watching on the smaller time frame, obviously, certain resistance parameters, because this is, by the way, everything zoomed in. Because once we break above initial resistance, it could be an indication that the market is trying to push higher. The nearest resistance is between $3,275 and $3,329. You could say that this is micro resistance for the weekend, because we're following here a local downtrend pattern, which has reached an important pivot. Because if this is the orange count, which could give us a larger bounce in that B wave extension that I just showed you, if this is the case, this B wave bounce might even take us higher again, a little bit higher. Yeah. Not absolutely needed, okay? Not absolutely needed. Absolutely, no, it's not needed. But it would take a break above 3,329. And within this B-wave bounce, this internal B-wave pullback is basically now at a point where, well, it should ideally form a low. So that's why it's an important pivot. But the local trend is down, specifically here on the very local level since the 10th of November high. And so the pressure appears down against this micro resistance area. Please note that the 4th of November low could provide some support. In fact, it's doing that right now at around $3,055. But you see here, this is consolidation, and there's currently nothing that would tell me that the bulls are starting to take the lead here. So from that point of view, I think weekend might be a bit of consolidation. I think we could get a small breakout then on Sunday, late Sunday. And the resistance parameters here tell us whether we are, we have to expect a larger B wave bounce or not. For now, we hold below resistance. The thing is, even a bounce in the B wave wouldn't be, let's say, necessarily bullish in the short term, yeah, but it might only lead to another test of the upper boundary line of the trend channel. So yeah, overall, I think pressure remains down for now. There could always be a small relief bounce. As I said, we have to give the market a little bit of room. That's the update on Ethereum. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then yeah, feel free to join the MCO community on our channel page. You can see here there's a video that explains all the member benefits, because we regularly get questions. So it's all there. It's just in less than 2 minutes, a video that explains everything. Also, as a member, you get additional member videos here. For example, as the SUI was covered for members, you get access to our weekly member live stream every Sunday at 5 p.m. UTC. We run a member live stream. By the way, this Sunday there'll be a public one before, so that's at 4 p.m. UTC. And if you're a gold member, you can even access our Discord server. You can ask questions there. You can, follow all the live charts and much more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.